This is genuinely insane. We have another trade rumor on the mill for the Cleveland Cavaliers, this time around Jarrett Allen. What does Koby Altman have cooking up his sleeve? This latest trade proposal would be sure to shake things up entirely in the NBA's Central Division. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cavs Digest. I'm your host for today's show, Darayus Sethna. Thanks so much for joining me for today's episode. Want to send you that friendly reminder before we get into all things Cavs. Make sure you like these videos and, more importantly, subscribe to our Cavs Digest YouTube channel. Matt and I have been putting out a lot of stuff, especially now that we're in the month of December, regular season, really getting into the thick of things. So want to make sure you're up to date with the latest in all things Cavs. Make sure you like these videos and subscribe to the Cavs Digest YouTube channel. Let's get into today's video. And I was doing some research, came across potential, trade here, some rumors. Again, we're in December. Cavs not playing well at all. Now dropped to 13-10 after what you could argue was their worst loss of the season against the Portland Trail Blazers last night at home. So not the way you wanted to start off this three-game homestand. Have a chance to bounce back tomorrow against San Antonio and Golden State, two pretty tough opponents at home. But nonetheless, during the week, another trade rumor came out regarding the Cavs, this time around Jarrett Allen. And when you think about the Indiana Pacers and what they've been kind of lacking, obviously they're lacking wins. That hurts them. They're lacking their best player in Tyrese Halliburton, right? He's not only their best player, their best scorer, but he's their creator on offense. He gets other guys involved. You saw that time and time again throughout the playoffs last year, where Halliburton was the one to set up guys like Aaron Nesmith, Andrew Nembhard, getting shooters involved. Pascal Siakam really took his game up to the next level to help propel the Pacers into the NBA Finals. And the Pacers this year just haven't been able to bounce back after not only losing Halliburton, but losing Miles Turner in the offseason via free agency. Turner signing a big contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. And, now the Pacers didn't have an answer in terms of replacing Miles Turner. And you can tell that they are struggling big time because of that. And I think that is one of the primary reasons, if you're Indiana, you're on this as much as you can be, as you're trying to convince the Cavs as much as you can to get Jarrett Allen away and bring him to Indianapolis, because I think that would be a big upgrade for the Pacers. Now on the Cavs side, their rationale for doing a trade like this, sending Jarrett Allen away, would be because the Cavs seem to like playing Evan Mobley at the center position. Now I don't know if that's because Jarrett Allen's been out with the finger injury and will continue to miss some time, about another week or so. So with in that case, kind of by de facto, you have to put Evan Mobley in there. But it seems like Kenny Atkinson and the coaching staff like seeing Evan Mobley at that center position more. I'm going to get into my take on that in a little bit here. But nonetheless, the rumor milling around that Jarrett Allen could be traded to the Indiana Pacers. Now, who would the Cavs be getting in return? They'd be getting back this guy, University of Dayton star Obi Toppin, who was drafted by the Knicks and played a pivotal role in that Indiana's run to the NBA Finals last year, coming off the bench. Just a very athletic player. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he won the dunk contest when the All-Star game was here in Cleveland back in 2022. So just, not a superstar, but a reliable role player, a very athletic role player who you can depend on, I think. Especially if he's in the right system. I think Indiana, these last 2 years has been the right system for him. So these are not stats that are going to blow your socks off, anything like that. Just a solid role player, in my opinion. Now, he is dealing with injuries as well this season. Another reason the Pacers have gotten off to such a slow start. But when you also look at what Jarrett Allen has been able to do, in the limited time he's been playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers this year, about 26 minutes a game, 14 points per game. Again, no numbers that are going to knock your socks off. These are kind of numbers that you expect from someone like Jarrett Allen. So despite the current finger injury, I still think he's too valuable for the Cavs particularly this year. When we talk about the Cavs, I did a video a couple weeks ago how there were, some rumors around the front office that 2025-26 is not a make or break season for the team. The expectations are obviously very high, but it's not, win at all costs or we're going to blow it up like maybe the Celtics were a couple years ago during their championship run. But I think the Cavs will definitely need to address the Jarrett Allen contract at some point. He is due for a pay raise going into next season. Now, ultimately, I disagree with bringing Obi Toppin to Cleveland for this reason. There's a very high possibility, folks. We have to have this conversation. Maybe right now is not the best time to go in depth about it, but we have to have a conversation about Jarrett Allen. Is he going to be in Cleveland moving forward? What's that financial status going to look like, especially given the fact that Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley are also now on max contracts? I think that's why if you're the Cavs, you stay put. I know it's been rough. I know fans are impatient. This is not good basketball that we're watching right now. But again, the team is not healthy. And I think this year, because you're uncertain about Jarrett Allen's future, he could be in Cleveland next year. Also very much a possibility that he might not be here. You emphasize having him on the roster more this year. His impact is more important than ever on this Cleveland Cavaliers team. And I really think he can be maybe that piece to give the Cavs that final push once they're healthy, especially once he's back in that starting lineup. Looking at it from the Obi Toppin perspective as well, like I said, very athletic, great dunker. Probably his in-game dunks are probably the most entertaining and noteworthy part of his game, but he's a good shooter. Like I said, athletic, plays defense hard. Just kind of what you want in a role player on an already well-established team like Indiana when they are healthy. But I think the Cavs have enough talented guys like this already. You already have Donovan Mitchell who can score. When Darius Garland gets healthy, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Obviously, Evan Mobley, I think once Jarrett Allen comes back, you're going to see Evan Mobley move back to that forward position where he can take some more jump shots, be a little bit more comfortable in that role. So I think ultimately the Cavs already have the scores. They already have the athletic talent, if you will. And I don't really think Obi Toppin will help in really any way. I think this could almost be a too many cooks in the kitchen type of problem with Obi Toppin. Obviously, he'd be fun coming off the bench. He went to Dayton, so you have the Ohio connection there. But at the end of the day, I think if you're the Cavs, you give up Jarrett Allen, who's really your only bona fide center. You're going to go from already being a poor rebound team right now to being even one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. I was actually having a conversation with Matt kind of behind the scenes, and that's the point he made up. If you let Jarrett Allen walk, who's going to be getting the rebounds for this Cleveland Cavs team? So I think that's another big piece. Like I said, don't need another athletic wing scorer on this Cavs team, and that's exactly what Obi Toppin is. Moving back into the Evan Mobley conversation of it all, I'm not a fan of having Evan Mobley at full-time center, and I think that's why if you're the Cavs, especially this year, you need to keep Jarrett Allen on the roster. I think Evan Mobley has a skill set that is just so much greater than even by the standards of today's NBA centers. Obviously, centers in the past were just post players, give me the ball down the post, going to back you down, score, draw fouls, that type of stuff. And now the modern NBA center has to be able to shoot, be able to pass, do a little bit more. But I think Evan Mobley's skill set eclipses even that of the modern NBA center. I think his ability to shoot has definitely improved, especially from beyond the arc. I don't love the fact that he's relying on that a little too much. I want to see him get to the basket a little bit more, draw contact, get to the free throw line at least. So I'd rather honestly see Evan move back into that forward position once Jarrett Allen is back, because Jarrett Allen is more of a conventional type of center, right? He's quick, he's nimble, he's a fantastic lob threat, and I think that's the reason the Pacers would be interested in this deal, because once you get Tyrese Halliburton back, man, that Tyrese Halliburton to Jarrett Allen connection would be a lot of fun to watch in Indiana. But he's obviously the lob threat you have for Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell right now, and I think he's just a more conventional center. He knows his role is going to stay in the paint, going to block shots, but I think he's quick enough to kind of move with the faster-paced guards and forwards of today's NBA. So ultimately, I do not agree with this deal. But what are your thoughts? Kind of the lingering Jarrett Allen contract. It's not a conversation we necessarily have to have right now, but it's definitely something for the Cavs to think about down the line. And if there were a trade, who would you be willing to trade Jarrett Allen for? Would you want Obi Toppin on this Cavs roster? What do the Cavs need to give up? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this potential trade, and make sure you like this video and subscribe to our Cavs Digest YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching my video today, guys. Really appreciate the support. Matt's also been doing some great work, so make sure you stay tuned for more content right here on Cavs Digest. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and take care.